viewers, great to have you back. The suspense may be continuing over the US election results, but back home, we are fast approaching the final leg of the Bihar campaign. In fact, today, the campaign for the final and third phase of Bihar elections came to an end. But it couldn't get more interesting. Nitish Kumar dropped the emotional bomb, successfully grabbing headlines and getting everyone talking about him. In fact, not just one. He had two googlies that he bowled today on the final campaign day. The last one is where he seemed to get a little emotional at a rally in Purnia and said, जान लीजिए, आज चुनाव का आखिरी दिन है और परसों चुनाव है और ये मेरा अंतिम चुनाव है, अंत भला तो सब भला. Effectively saying that, indicating that the people should hand him his final victory, as this is his final election campaign. A big comment to be making on the last day of campaign for the last phase of election. Of course, it's created ripples across Bihar. The opposition has jumped in, saying it was about time he announced his retirement. But this comment, can it really swing votes, especially focused at the fence sitters? Can Nitish Kumar's emotional appeal attempt to reach out to those who've backed him for 3 terms really work with this kind of a comment? Let me also tell you something unusual he did earlier in the day. Now, as you know, BJP's firebrand leader Yogi Adityanath has been campaigning in Bihar as well. In one of those speeches that he made, amidst many other polarizing and fiery remarks that he made, he also said that minorities in Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan are exploited. He said Prime Minister Modi has promised them protection through citizenship law. If anyone tries to infiltrate, we will throw them out. And so maybe, without naming Yogi Adityanath, Nitish Kumar, for some reason, decided to speak about Citizenship Amendment Act as well and said, who does all of this malicious campaign? Who says all this faltu baat, to use the phrase that he used? Who will throw out people? No one dare do that. Everyone belongs to this country. Everyone is Indian. Now, he's left it to you to join the dots if he's actually trying to do damage control after what Yogi Adityanath said. Otherwise, why else will he talk about CAA and try to reach out to the Muslims in the state who may be having some fears? Tonight, as the Bihar election campaign comes to a stop, and we now get ready for the last round, my big question to our panelists is this another sign that Nitish Kumar is feeling the heat, feeling some pressure, and in desperation is now making these comments? How are we supposed to read into this? We'll also talk about whether there is a possibility that he gets completely reduced, sidelined, or explore another alliance. In the past, we've seen that happen, especially in the state of Bihar. So let's talk all things Bihar, with the final phasing slotted for day after tomorrow. We say good evening to Kamal Lopani, spokesperson for the JDU, Sudesh Verma, spokesperson for the BJP, joining me this evening, Sarika Kumari, spokesperson for the RJD, and I also have Aarti Chairath, senior journalist, with us. Good evening to all of you. Sudesh Verma, let's begin with you. Not often do we see, Mr. Verma, a retirement announcement by a politician. We usually hear these kind of announcements from cricketers.
And we must appreciate this, although it is not a retirement announcement. It is the announcement that this is his last election. It doesn't mean that he would be out of politics. He may be out of electoral politics, as I understand the interpretation. And we should appreciate, because how many people at the age of 69 would dare to do that? And he knows the people of Bihar. There is an emotional connect also. So naturally, on the last day of the campaigning, which is very important, had it been for any other reason, he would have dared said this on the first day of the campaign. But he has said on the last day, because last day of the campaign, last rally, he's smiling that this is my last. So he has announced sort of retirement from electoral politics. So people of Bihar definitely are emotionally connected with him, and they will take a decision on that. So it should not be seen with any other angle other than this.
No, but when you say that he's going to, maybe not retire from politics altogether, what else? It's not as if he's fighting on a seat It's not as if he's ever sought a place, in the parliament or the assembly. So what else will he then do?
You see, I've never seen a politician retiring or a journalist retiring or a lawyer retiring.
Right.
They all find one or the other roles. But we should appreciate that, he has made it very clear. And of course, he's talking to people of Bihar. And in the last phase, when 78 seats are going to pass, and he is seeking a renewed mandate, which he will definitely get. So another 5-year in term, and after that he will decide his course, how he has to play politics. I don't see anyone retiring from politics. Maybe the role changes.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with you. I don't know how the role changes unless you become, a Margdarshak and gradually just get out of people's memory. But it's an interesting comment to be made on the last day, and you're, addressing a rally. He reaches out, and I heard the whole speech. He reaches out to the women voters. He reaches out to, people who voted for him in the last several terms. He speaks about the achievements that he's done, and then he talks about one last victory, and ant bhala to sab bhala. In a sense, Aarti Chairath, does it sound a little desperate that I am now attempting to strike an emotional chord with you?
Absolutely. I think Nitish, as you know, he's been facing sort of boos and hoots, and he had onions thrown at him quite recently in one of his rallies. So I think he's sensing the very strong negative mood against him amongst people. And I think this was his attempt to, sort of make an emotional appeal, one last desperate emotional appeal to people to vote for him so that he can come back for a 5th term. And, I think it should really not be seen as anything more than that. I don't know whether he retires or doesn't retire. But, he's clearly trying to establish this emotional connect with the voters of Bihar and saying, I'm your Sushasan Babu. Please vote for me one last time. I don't know whether it's going to work.
But Aarti, in the last few weeks, we've spoken about how he's being cornered, even in terms of the campaigning for NDA. He's not been the first person or the first face they have pushed. It's more about national policies. It's more about Prime Minister Modi. He's being attacked by his own former ally, the LJP. Could it also be more about his own place, even if the NDA wins and comes back? About how much power would he be able to wield in the next term?
Well, I think Nitish Kumar must be a very lonely man today because really, I don't know whether he has any friends left. The way these two youngsters have been going at him, it's been quite, sad to see a man who was once, at one point, even being talked as a possible prime minister of India, heading a coalition government. And these two youngsters have been going at him, old, tired, I'll jail him, corrupt, this, that. It's been, such a diminishing of the Nitish Kumar that, we journalists knew once upon a time, who was this, sort of very promising politician and, who was, as I said, being talked about as a possible prime minister. So, I think he's a really lonely man today. And he certainly must be worried, firstly, whether he's going to even win the election, and lead the NDA back to power. Secondly, even if the NDA comes back, will the BJP have more seats than him? And if the BJP has more seats than him and he's diminished to, sort of some very small numbers, what is his place going to be in the next government? Can he be the chief minister? Will the BJP sort of, suddenly do something to him? Because, politicians, as we know, they say something during election campaigns and they do something after elections are over, once the results are in. So I think Nitish must be an extremely lonely, worried man today. It's a very sad situation for somebody who had such a stature in Indian politics.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think somewhere it will play on the minds of many people, especially on Nitish Kumar and also on the BJPs, and from the kind of grandstanding he did, the comments that he made when he walked away from the NDA, the situation that led him to come back. And now, if not even to be seen as an equal partner, but perhaps, staring at a possibility of being reduced to the smaller partner in Bihar, if that happens, I'm sure it's haunting him. I was very surprised when I heard that comment. But let me also tell our viewers about some of the reactions that are actually coming in right now, because obviously the opposition has jumped at this opportunity and they have been constantly attacking Nitish. It's not just internal rift, but obviously from the opposition itself. I want to play out a couple of those comments before we go back to our panelists.
नीतीश कुमार अभी 71 के हैं, ये अंतिम चुनाव है, उन्होंने एक राजनीतिक सुचिता कायम की है। वैसे अभी कई लोग जेल में बैठ कर के भी वहां से टिकट बांट रहे हैं और वो 76 पार कर चुके हैं, 75 पार कर चुके हैं, तो उनको संतोष नहीं है, जेल से भी बगुला भगत की तरह काम कर रहे हैं।
नीतीश बाबू ने तो हमारे आदरणीय हैं, हम उनका सम्मान करते हैं क्योंकि बुजुर्ग हैं। नीतीश बाबू ने तो तीसरे चरण के चुनाव की वोट पड़ने से पहले ही इस चुनाव को अपना आखिरी चुनाव बता जदयू भाजपा की हार स्वीकार कर ली है। पर जान लें कि जदयू भाजपा का टायर्ड और रिटायर्ड नेतृत्व, जिन्होंने अब रिटायरमेंट की घोषणा भी कर डाली है, वो बिहार को कभी हरा नहीं पाएंगे।
कि हम जो बात पहले से कहते रहे हैं कि नीतीश कुमार जी थक चुके हैं, उनसे बिहार संभल नहीं रहा, वो ज़मीनी हकीकत को पहचान नहीं पाए। और जब आखिरी दिन चुनाव के आखिरी सभा में उन्होंने खुद ही घोषणा कर दी कि अब वो राजनीति से संन्यास ले रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने जो ज़मीनी हकीकत है, अब हो सकता है कि उनको एहसास हुआ होगा और उन्होंने आज घोषणा कर दी राजनीति से संन्यास लेने की।
रणभूमि को छोड़कर भागना ज़्यादा उचित समझा, और ये मेरी समझ के परे है कि क्यों भाई आप बता दे तो कि 15 साल में आपने क्या किया, और आज तो जब आपसे जवाब मांगा जा रहा है, उसके आपके पास सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं, उसका आपके पास जवाब नहीं है। अगली बार तो आप आएंगे भी नहीं, आप तो खुद ही बोल रहे हैं कि भैया आप संन्यास ले रहे हैं, तो अगली बार जब आप आएंगे नहीं, यहाँ पर जनता के बीच शक्ल नहीं दिखाएंगे, तो कोई क्यों? जनता दल यूनाइटेड पार्टी का पूरी तरीके से अस्तित्व, और आज के उनके इस बयान के बाद मुझे नहीं पता किसने उनको ये बुद्धि दी कि आप आज ये बयान दें। जो उनके प्रत्याशी थोड़ी बहुत भी लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे, उनका भी आपने मनोबल पूरा तोड़ दिया। जब रणभूमि से अगर नेता लीडर ही अगर गद्दी छोड़कर अगर भाग जाए, तो बाकी की भीड़ क्या करेगी, बाकी के लोग क्या करेंगे? तो आपके जो प्रत्याशी हैं उनकी तो हार आपने और ज़्यादा सुनिश्चित कर दी।
But I don't think the voters of Bihar are going to be swayed by this emotional appeal. Nitish ji will get what he deserves on his merits, because Bihar, in fact, during the past long term that he has ruled, could not rise from the poverty level, and the fact that recently the wind is blowing against him is becoming so very apparent that in all desperation Nitish Kumar is making such an appeal, and I think the time has come for him to quit and make way for other younger leadership.
So will this comment really help him or not? That's the other big question. If he believes that this kind of an emotional appeal is going to get some of his, votes or the fence-sitters back, will that happen or not? Kamal Lopani, spokesperson of the JDU, with me this evening. Mr. Lopani, why do this on the last day? This could get demoralizing for your own cadre.
Yes. Hello. Yes, ma'am.
मिस्टर कमल लोपानी, आखिरी दिन में नीतीश जी ने ऐसा कमेंट कर दिया कि अब वो ये उनका आखिरी इलेक्शन है, ये तो डिमोरलाइजिंग हो जाएगा आपके खुद के काडर के लिए।
नहीं मैडम देखिए, मैं बहुत ईमानदारी से बोलना चाहूंगा कि ये लोग भ्रम में जी रहे हैं। जो भी कमेंट्स मैंने सुने हैं,
हाँ जी,
बोला है कि मैं जो है अब की बार ये मेरा चुनाव आखिरी है। और तो और नहीं नहीं, एक मिनट, अब बात सुना जाए। ये चुनाव आखिरी है, अब जो होगा आखिरी में जो होता अच्छा होगा। तो उन्होंने बिहार की बेहतरी के लिए ये बात बोला है कि मैं आज की जो सभा थी, आज उनकी चुनाव की सभा, ये लास्ट सभा थी इस असेंबली की, इस चुनाव की 2020 विधानसभा की। उन्होंने आखिरी में ये वर्ड बोला है, आप ये चीज को ध्यान करो, रैली बोला है, आखिरी सभा है, अब जो है वो बहुत अच्छा है।
नहीं नहीं, ये नहीं बोला। अब आप घुमाइए मत, अब आप घुमाइए मत। अगर पूरे देश को, सारी मीडिया को, सारे पॉलिटिशियंस को, आपके खुद को, एक मिनट सुनिए अब, अरे एक मिनट सुनिए मेरी बात, कमल जी मेरी बात सुनिए। अब आप घुमाइए मत। आपके खुद को ये एलाइज जो है बीजेपी, उनको यही लगा, एलजेपी को यही लग रहा है, सारी ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज को यही लग रहा है, पूरी मीडिया को यही लग रहा है, तो जनता को भी यही लगेगा। वो ये कमेंट मैंने खुद पर्सनली बार बार सुना। अब मैं अपने दर्शकों के लिए चला नहीं सकती क्योंकि इलेक्शन कमीशन का कोड ऑफ कॉन्डक्ट लगा हुआ है, नहीं तो हम इसी चीज को यहीं पे दूध का दूध पानी का पानी कर देते। पर मैं ये बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली बोल सकती हूँ
बिहार में,
कमल जी, मैं ये बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली बोल सकती हूँ कि उन्होंने ये कहा
की बातें नहीं है
कि ये आखिरी दिन कैंपेन का है।
शुरू से ही
सुनिए मेरी बात, ये आखिरी दिन कैंपेन का है, ये मेरा भी आखिरी चुनाव है, और इस चुनाव में जीत मिले अंत भला तो सब भला, ये है कमेंट। ये वो आखिरी, सिर्फ कैंपेनिंग या रैली की बात नहीं हो रही थी, ये खुद के बारे में बात कर रहे थे।
नहीं मैडम जी, मैं उनके खुद के 2020 का चुनाव है, 2025 तक माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी हैं, बने रहेंगे। उस 25 में उन्होंने बोला है कि मैं इस विषय में जो है वो नहीं करने का। 25 तक तो वो मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उनकी जो योजनाएं, जो सोच है, वो आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं उस चीज को। और 25 तक उन्होंने बोला कि मैं सेवा करूंगा बिहार की। ठीक है, 25 तक सेवा करेंगे बिहार की, आगे भी मौका मिलना चाहिए लोगों को। और कहीं जाएंगे, वो केंद्र में जाएंगे और ऊंची जगह जाएंगे, ऐसी बात नहीं है मैडम। दूसरों को भी मौका, उनकी सोच को देखिए, उनकी दूरदर्शिता को देखिए कि नहीं, मैं बहुत काम किया हूँ और 5 साल अब की बार ये मेरा चुनाव करके मैं आगे जो है जनता को दूंगा, उत्तराधिकारी को। तो आज जब अगर ऐसी घोषणा करेंगे, मैं माफी सोचिए, वो राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हम लोग, वो बैठक करने के बाद ही ये सब निर्णय लेंगे ना कि मैं चुनाव नहीं लड़ना है, आगे क्या करना है। ये बैठक के बाद ही निर्णय लेते हैं। माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी कोई भी निर्णय अपनी इच्छा से नहीं लेते, वो एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी की बैठक में इस चीज की जानकारी देते हैं, और जो राय सर्वसम्मति से होती है उसको वो मानने का काम करते हैं।
Okay, let's just assume this is simply an emotional appeal. He really hasn't thought it through, and of course, it's still, if he thinks he's going to win, it's still 5 years away. Sudesh Sharma, is this kind of a appeal going to really work for the cadre, for the voter?
Tanvi, I would like to first comment on the various comments which you have shown. You know, these acerbic comments about age is not really welcome, because I would like to ask the Congress if 69-year-old Nitish ji should not be lauded for saying this, then are you going to say that you are just carrying on the burden of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, who is 73? Please don't, I'm reminded of Mark Twain's famous statement on age, age is a matter of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And you are as effective as you are agile, like JP, at the age of 74, he became the rallying point of movement against Sonia Gandhi, anti-emergency movement. You see, Anna movement, at the age of 76, he became the icon of anti-corruption movement. You see, our own Prime Minister, he's touching 70. You see the way he's leading the country, all youths identify with him. So what do you stand for, how you govern, what are the ideologies you represent? These are the things that are important. If Nitish Kumar's experience and his unblemished because of his record on the issue of corruption, Tejasvi Yadav, whose whole entire family is steeped in corruption, he is on bail in a CBI case where he benefited 3 acres of land because his father was the railway minister, Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. In 2006, he leased out 2 hotels to a person who bribed 3 acres of land, and this is an open and shut case. So you cannot compete with Nitish ji in terms of image, in terms of governance. So
Correct.
please let us talk about that.
No, we have been talking about that so far, Mr. Sudesh Sharma. It's Nitish
Yeah, not
Kumar
blaming you, not
who
blaming
came
you.
out and made that appeal. Okay, let's talk about another comment, and then I will go to Aarti Jairath on that as well. The comment he made about CAA. Now, what do I make of that comment today, Sudesh Verma, when he talks about CAA and he says, कौन ये बाहर से आ जाते हैं और ये सब चीज़ें बोलते हैं, कौन आपको देश से बाहर निकाल रहा है, ये सब अटेम्प्ट है लोगों को डिवाइड करने का. Is he upset that you have sent in Yogi Adityanath from the neighboring state and you are polarizing his voter base?
I don't see any contradiction in the statement of Mr. Yogi Adityanath and also in the statement of Mr. Nitish Kumar. Yogi ji has said what has been our stand, that all infiltrators, all illegal people here residing in this country should be identified and deported. So he said in that context, that is our party's ideology also. All our leaders have spoken about that. What Nitish ji said is also correct. Nobody can be deported who is a citizen of this country. So he was trying to allay the fear which a statement could create.
But
So as
किसकी
simple as that,
फालतू
he
बात की
clarified
बात
that.
कर रहे हैं वो? Whose फालतू बात is?
Tanvi, that is a way of saying, you know, I have the legacy of Bihar, I can tell you.
ओके कमल नौपानी किसकी फालतू बात की बात कर रहे हैं जो बाहर से लोग आके कैंपेन कर रहे हैं और फालतू बातें कह रहे हैं? नीतीश जी किसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे?
इसके विषय में मैं बोले उन्होंने फालतू बात.
वही तो मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ.
प्लीज
उन्होंने CAA के बारे में कमल
Please बोलो
नौपानी उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो लोग आके कैंपेन कर रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं लोगों को देश से बाहर फेंक दिया जाएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. जो इस देश का है वो यही रहेगा. ये सब बाकी फालतू बातें जो लोगों को तोड़ने के लिए की जा रही है, वो किसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे? आपकी ऑपोजिशन है तो सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट एक्ट उठाया भी नहीं.
नहीं मैडम, ये पार्टी के ही चुनाव में किसी माननीय ने इस बात का जिक्र जो है उन्होंने अपने रैली के दरमियान किया होगा. तो उसी कंफ्यूजन को जो लोग ये बात फैला रहे हैं, उसी कंफ्यूजन को दूर करने के लिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने बोला है कि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, न ऐसा हुआ है, न ऐसा होने जा रहा. ये भ्रम की स्थिति न हो, उन्होंने स्पष्ट करने के लिए इन बातों का प्रयोग किया है मैम, और कोई उनका उद्देश्य नहीं था इसके लिए.
Let me ask Aarti Jairath. Aarti Jairath, he's played with words very smartly. He's not named anyone. One could argue that the opposers of CAA are also, like BJP likes to put it, are the ones who are polarizing, are the ones who are spreading fake propaganda. Who do you think Nitish Kumar was talking about?
Well, I mean, very clearly about Yogi Adityanath, because he's the one who raised the CAA issue, right? In the speech he made. It's just so sad, and I think this is one reason why politicians in our country are losing credibility, because they're sort of constantly playing with words. They say one thing, they do something else. They say something during campaigning. When they come to power, they say, oh, that was meant for, campaign speeches. We said it during campaign. We don't mean it now that we're in power. So, I think what people, and this is something that we journalists hear again and again. And Sudesh Verma, if he would wear his journalist hat instead of his BJP spokesman's hat, I think he would also recall this, that when we go around at campaign time and we talk to people, this is something that people tell us again and again and again, that politicians show up to ask for our votes, they make promises, they say things during elections, and once elections are over, they go away, they forget about us, and they don't care anymore. And, they sing a different tune. So, this is the sad thing about, and that's why, campaigns have become so meaningless. That's why election manifestos have become so meaningless, because people don't stick to those promises that they make. And, this whole, CAA thing, this issue was raked up because in this third phase, you have many areas which have sizable Muslim populations. Sizable. I mean, Kishanganj, Katihar, Purnia, all these are all sizable Muslim populations. And I think, I don't know, there's also one theory that goes that it was a fixed match, that Yogi Adityanath raised this issue so that Nitish Kumar could knock it out and, sort of try to restore his credentials with Muslim voters. So God knows what kinds of games these people play at election time.
Mr. Sudesh Sharma, do you want to respond?
Yeah, I want to respond. See, he spoke to me about my journalist act, and we have, reported together. Let me tell you that, a statement of fact is something else. Interpretation is something else. What he's talking is of interpretation. Since I've been on both sides, I can tell you that what Yogi ji said, that is our principle to stand, that illegal infiltration ke khilaf, we have to act, isn't it? What Nitish ji said is also correct, so that the message does not go in a negative way. We are not talking about Indian citizens. We have nothing against Muslims staying in this country as citizens. But those who are coming illegally, our line is against that. That is our ideology. He spoke about NRC, which has not come. The government is not speaking, but the party is speaking. There is a distinction that we must understand. CAA is not for taking citizenship. CAA is for granting citizenship. So this distinction also needs to be made. And that is my humble submission, that it should be seen in the correct way. He has clarified the situation, which is correct, that no action is being taken against Indians. Every Indian will stay, no Indian will be thrown out. No question of that. The BJP stands.
So you have one person who comes out there and makes these big other comments of sending back the infiltrators, and he uses those fiery words that can rile up people like infiltrators. Then you have the other person who comes and attempts to put a balm on that and try and allay fears. That could be one way to handle it, but many are seeing it very differently, Mr. Sudesh Sharma, and they are seeing this as Nitish Kumar's attempt to really reach out and distance himself from that kind of politics, especially what Yogi Adityanath has been saying in many rallies. I am completely out of time, so I'm going to thank all of you panelists for joining me on that. Just for our viewers to think about it, of course, the voters in Bihar are the ones who will have to analyze this and take a call, especially those in the phase 3 who still have to cast their vote. But Nitish Kumar, who has been with the NDA for a really long time, but walked away when Narendra Modi became their PM face in 2013, and then was very, very open about how upset he was for that decision. Like Aarti Chairatu Singh, at one point he held his own ambitions about being the Prime Minister of this country someday. And then he made the gamble of joining hands with the RJD and Lalu Prasad Yadav, his rival. For the past 2 decades, they came together simply because Nitish Kumar wanted to stay in power and wanted to stop the BJP and the Modi juggernaut in the state. He successfully managed to do that, but when he saw the RJD with the largest share of seats was beginning to overshadow him, was beginning to have a larger say in the state, he again changed sides and went back to the NDA. He now stares at a situation where within the NDA, the bigger campaign name and face has been Prime Minister Modi. From within the NDA, LJP, while backing BJP, has constantly been attacking Nitish Kumar, and he has the big challenge of getting the onslaught from Tejashwi and the rest of his team. Not a very good place to be in, definitely a little lonely up there. Perhaps he senses the tough times are ahead. Maybe in a bid to do some damage control, he's distanced himself from Yogi Adityanath, try to reach out to a certain vote bank on Citizenship Amendment Act, try to make an emotional appeal even to the women voter base who have very strongly backed him in the past by saying ye mera antim election hai. Let's wait and watch if it works in any ways to support and boost his fortunes in the last phase. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.